There is a prison in far north Queensland where the flowers grow extra large, much brighter than the flowers on the outside. People are very protective of these flowers, and it is an offence to pick them from the garden. Flowers have always been a gift in desolate places. There is a prison in South Australia where a creative arts facilitator brought in a packet of Chupa Chups for a workshop. The women were allowed to keep their lollipops after the class, but they decided to combine them as a sweet bouquet for their friend's birthday. Acts of kindness have always been a gift in difficult times. I have been travelling the world collecting stories of kindness, beauty, and refusal in prisons. And I have seen darkness interrupted by light in difficult places. Prisons are built to hold people as worthless, ugly, and hated. But when people hate themselves, they hate others. A tough on crime environment makes a person invisible and reduces them to a criminal who is not worthy of love or kindness, even though these are the very things that heal us on a soul level. For those who have ever been in a prison, you will know the ugliness of the inside, its concrete walls and dirt floors that house acts of spitefulness, like punishment and isolation. There's a prison in South Australia where the women had some leftover sunflower seeds from a workshop. They planted them in the prison yard. But just before the flowers were about to bloom, the prison staff came along and chopped them down. Such a cruel act. And this is because prisons operate on the assumption that not all souls are worthy of growing in beautiful ways, and not all people are worthy of kindness. Prisons can be places of learning and growth. In the Life After Prison podcast, we learned that 98% of those who are incarcerated will one day return to their communities. Do people return rehabilitated, or do they re-enter as damaged people? Are prisons in the business of breaking people, or the last stop for people to grow, change, transform their lives? We do not have less crime, but we do have more prisons. Since the year 2000, Australia has built 37 new prisons. But the crime rate has stayed the same, suggesting that the increase in incarceration is mostly due to policy changes. In the Northern Territory, we now have 1% of our population incarcerated, the highest rate ever recorded in any Australian jurisdiction. We have rapid technological advancement, but we have very slow justice reform. Many countries no longer have corporal punishment, but we still have deaths in custody, abuse against children in detention centres, police brutality, and the overrepresentation of Black people incarcerated. I've visited several prisons in the Northern Territory and in Alabama, and I have been warmed by the full emotional range of human beings striving towards rehabilitation, whether that is through the system or through the solidarity of their prison community. Women in prison build each other up simply by telling each other how beautiful they are. Makeup is contraband in prison, but there is a prison in the Northern Territory where women are finding ways to hold on to their identity, not as prisoners or inmates. There are certain berries that grow in the yard. They cannot be eaten, but the women use them for makeup. They pick them, pierce the skins, and rub the juices on their cheeks for rouge. There are no glass mirrors on the inside, but compliments are free in prison. In Mexico, I was told that a facilitator brought in some plastic mirrors for a workshop, only to realise that some of the women hadn't seen their own reflections for over 20 years. Imagine never seeing your own reflection for 20 years. When we think of self-care in our everyday lives, we probably think of health. But in a hostile environment, what is self-care? For Angela Davis, it was yoga and meditation that sustained her fight for justice, even while incarcerated. But one of the best forms of self-care is acts of kindness. Acts of kindness are good for one's health. When we do things for others, we release the same chemicals as falling in love: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. Practicing small acts of kindness daily helps build social connection and well-being. Rather than turning your back on the world, do a small act of kindness and see how it makes you feel. To counter the damaging world of prisons, we do need a justice system based on kindness, one that recognises the whole person and gets to the root causes of trauma, poverty, and addiction, and focuses on healing, accountability, and reintegration. Prisons are a manifestation of the deep pain that one feels when they are a victim of a crime. It is a reflex to want to punish someone when you have been hurt, isolated, victimised, or abused. Yet what would it mean for the world to have a justice system based on kindness? Meliorism is the belief that we can positively change the world through kindness, love, creativity, compassion, and care. Kindness heals us all. Could prisons look and work more effectively with a system based on kindness? The human spirit is incredibly strong, and I have seen people come together on the inside to consciously build up each other's worth. The concrete walls and the dirt floors. Since 2019, 7 murals have been painted in the women's prison in Darwin. And upon walking the path through the prison, you can now see mermaids, goddesses, children holding red balloons, and larger-than-life flowers, created carefully with colour by women on the inside. During one of the painting sessions, I heard a lady say behind me, "This is a gift from God." Don't get me wrong, we have seen a prison system shift to a correctional system over the last 30 years, from confinement and punishment to one of rehabilitation and reintegration. We now have a parole system and education programs. But the justice system remains highly punitive, especially for Black people. A system based on kindness rather than punishment would allow those to really heal themselves in a different way than being broken down through acts of spitefulness. A system based on kindness will reduce violence. It will increase emotional regulation. I hope everybody gets tired of being cruel to one another soon. I want to make kindness normal. Respect, automatic. Patience, the standard. Isn't this what all communities would want to strive towards? Even the justice system? After all, it's not a justice system. It's just a system, and it can be changed.